Just real quick, trying to clear up any questions there might be for week 21 orchestra, cycle 1. Okay, so here's what the iPod looks like, right? So music, and then the playlist. Okay, so the main playlist that you'll use first is the Bach there 21. All right, now in here we have, these are all from the Well-Tempered Clavier, or however you pronounce that, and it is C major, prelude, C major, and then prelude, C minor, right? So that tonal difference. And then fugue, C major, fugue, C minor. So that students can start to hear that difference between major and minor. And then also in the fugue, listening from Megan's notes, for hearing that melody playing over and over again, right? Okay, so these in total are maybe about 6 minutes, so feel free to listen through all of those in entirety, okay? And back here is in week 21 Bach, additional pieces. Now these are all going to be preludes. I think there's 8 of them or so. And then it's going to be E major, E minor, F major, F minor, G major, G minor, A minor, A major, A minor. Okay, so you might want to just select one of these. I'm not actually going to play it, but select it, let it play for just 5-10 seconds, and then skip to the next one. And then so there'll be an order, so major, and then if you skip to the next, it'll go to minor, and try and see if students can hear that difference between major and minor. Okay, so just that's what the iPod looks like, and then a few quick things about those notes. So just reminding you that just very simply, we have the basic elements of music, right? And this helps us to listen to the music and think about what we're hearing, right? And then also be able to express, the words to describe what we're hearing too. So we're talking about melody, harmony, rhythm, form, and color. And there's words, grammar that goes with each of those, but those are the basic elements, right? So you have a couple of those sheets in here. And then you also have this one that talks about harmony. This is from last year. This is, not everyone will certainly use this, but if that's helpful for you, you're certainly welcome to use this. And there's 2 of these in the back of the binder also, or 4. Okay. So one of the things, talking melody, musical line, what one voice sings. So like last week from the Messiah piece, we heard actual voices, right? Soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And those voices, if you remember kind of like the notes, the highlighting part there, sometimes they were singing all together. Sometimes they were echoing, right, coming in at different spots. And so with this piece, it's all going to be piano, but we might hear the melody played low, and then it might be echoed higher, right? So if kind of picture someone playing a piano, one hand might be one voice and the other hand might be another voice, as example. And so both hands are playing, but they're playing either a different melody or a different pitches, right? Is one example of super simple. I'm sure Megan could clarify that even more, but is an idea of what we're talking about here. Okay, then harmony, musical space. So are those hands both moving in the same direction? How are those 2 voices? Are they both moving up at the same time? Are they both moving down? Are they moving toward each other or away? Kind of think of, so the sound would be, if one voice was moving up and the other moving down, they'd be moving towards each other. So there's lots of ways you could talk about that, but so that harmony page, right? Different types of harmony. So that's direction and motion, texture, how two voices are singing different independent melodies. So is one playing the main melody and the other one's just imitating that same melody, or are they playing different melodies? And some examples from last week's piece if you're interested in that. Okay, and then the major minor thing, which is kind of the cool focus for this week, because there's so many examples in all the I think it was called tones, perhaps, all 24, but that it is, so if we remember from Tin Whistle, we had the scale, right? And so each note on that scale, we had a letter that went with it, right? Every good boy does fine, and then face, right? Students will totally remember this. And so, and it's explained down here in their harmonic key, right? The key means that when that key is in the title of the piece, like C major, it means all of the sounds of that piece are around that note, more or less, right? And so we can recognize those different keys. They will sound slightly different, but then the major and minor part, so it has a positive or a negative sound. So you could play the A major and then the A minor, and it'll sound slightly different. And that might be a fun exercise while you're playing those, of having students, how would you describe the difference between A major and, or not necessarily specifically A, but major and minor? Is one kind of positive and a negative, cheerful, exuberant, pleasant, pleasantly gentle, or the negative, minor sounding sad or melancholy, angry, regretful. It almost sounds like something's about to happen, like if you were watching a movie or a play. How else might students describe that sound? Or even colors, right? Like major might be more like happy, so oranges and reds and yellows, and maybe minor might be more blue and purple and green. So anyways, just more ideas of how to express and talk about the music. Okay, so I think we covered kind of some highlights there, but just to help give you ideas, you don't have to use any of this vocabulary, but help to give an idea of things you could just point out to listen to for the students. But it's been going really well to just listen all the way through the pieces, and that's fantastic. So just however it suits your class best, and feel free to shout it with any questions.